That's amazing. That looks so good. Wow. I really think it looks like they nailed this. All right, everyone. We are getting awfully close to the release of Disney's live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. And this film continues to be one of the most debated Disney films ever. But so far we've seen less than 2 minutes of the film. Disney really hasn't had to spend a lot of money on promotion for this film. People just constantly talk about it. I mean, including me. But this week Disney released a new trailer for the film as well as a new poster. And of course I'm guessing most of us are probably most excited about seeing some more of the actual film. But before we dive in and take a look at the trailer, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the new poster. There it is. I actually mostly really like it. I think it's a great poster. I do wish it had a bit more color on it. It is mostly just blue. I would have loved to have a bit more color down here by the bottom of it. These corals and the fish, it would have been great if they had a bit more color, as well as Ariel. It would have been great to have a bit more saturation on her, and especially her hair. But other than that, I really like it. Oh my god, is that Sebastian? What did they do to you, my boy? I mean, sure, he is supposed to be a crab. I never really thought that he looked much like a crab in the animated film. I mean, be honest, how many of you thought he was actually a lobster? But that's the thing when you make it live action, you kind of need to make the animals look more like animals. And in some cases that's a good thing, but other times it just makes the animals less expressive. That was one of the big critiques about the Lion King remake, that you just didn't see as much emotion in the faces of the lions. Anyways, it's gonna be interesting to see how it works in the actual film. I mean, right now we're just looking at the poster, a still image of these animals. So maybe it's about time we take a look at the trailer. Y'all ready?
Abandoned ship!
Oof. That's dramatic. Oh, there he goes. There he goes in the water. He's gonna get picked up by Ariel. Saved. Oh. That's great.
Take the code, man! Over here!
Ah, that's amazing.
You broke the rules. You went to the above world.
A man was
Oh,
drowning.
there is.
I had to save him.
This
King
obsession
Triton.
with humans has to stop.
I just want to know more about them. Ariel!
Wow.
Don't!
Poor child.
I can help you.
Ursula.
You can't live in that world unless
Oh.
you become a human yourself.
Is that even possible?
That's what I live for.
Oh, she's good. She's good. Yes. She has legs. Wow.
Something about you seems different. I can't
Oh,
quite
yeah.
figure it out.
She got legs, you idiot!
I don't know where, I don't know how, but I know something's
Yes.
starting right now. Watching, you'll see.
Yeah.
Someday I'll be part of
He's a
I mean, that's
hero.
iconic.
Mermaid.
That doesn't make us enemies.
Wow. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's hype. That's freaking hype. Yes, please. That's amazing. That looks so good. Wow. Wow. I really, really like that. I really think it looks like they nailed this. Oh my god. I actually didn't expect to be this hyped about this trailer. Seriously, I didn't. But it looks like they actually really nailed the live action adaptation this time. To me, it doesn't look like they've added unnecessary filler. It just looks like they've really given it the third dimension. Okay, we need to take a look at some of the specifics here. The whole opening with the sinking ship here is so dramatic, so scary looking. It does kind of give Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, and there's another thing later on that also gave me kind of Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, but we'll get back to that one later. And you've got Prince Eric on the beach there, trying to see who saved him, but only being able to see a blurred outline of Ariel, which is of course a very important plot point to the story. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the castle in the background here. I wonder where that is. We've obviously talked about this before, but a lot of people think that just because The Little Mermaid, the fairy tale, was written by the Danish author Hans Christian Andersen, that means that the fairy tale takes place in Denmark, which it really doesn't. You know, it's a fairy tale. It takes place in a kingdom far, far away. And if we take a look at the castle in this trailer, you can quite clearly see that this doesn't look like any castle in Denmark. I mean, even just look at the landscape. That doesn't look like Denmark either. But I'm curious about what this castle is based on, or if it's actually a real castle somewhere. It's probably not a real castle, but it is most likely based on some real castles somewhere in the world. And then we get our first shot of Javier Bardem as King Triton. There we go with the close-up. It is kind of weird that he has this accent that Javier Bardem has, and Ariel doesn't have any of that accent. But I mean, Sebastian also talks with a Jamaican accent, so what do you know? It's all one big ocean.
You idiot!
But this close-up of Javier Bardem was the other thing that reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's just the way that his hair moves around his face reminded me a lot of how his character in Pirates of the Caribbean 5 looks. In that film, he's of course some kind of ghost, but they made the ghosts kind of weightless as if they were underwater. And now we see him play another character who is underwater. Okay, let's just look at this image right here. This is one of the few shots in the trailer where Ariel's hair is actually this big flowing mane that we know from the animated film. And it looks amazing. Not sure we can say the same thing about Flounder though. I mean, that's what we talked about with the poster. It's really hard to get emotion from the face of a fish. It's just, I mean, if you want him to look realistic, you just don't have much to work with. Yeah, he doesn't look amazing. What does look amazing though is Ursula's cave. Look at this place, so dramatic, with a big clam and Flotsam and Jetsam skulking around. And we need to talk about Ursula herself. Those bioluminescent tentacles. And here's our first real shot of Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. She looks great. She looks so freaking perfect as Ursula. Look at that. I mean, that's an amazing shot as well, right there, with the glowing tentacles wrapping around Ariel. That's fantastic. Now, this scene actually looks way more cartoony than I thought anything would in this film. And that's not a complaint at all. I love that we get some purple and lime green, which are the quintessential villain colors in Disney animation. If you go back and take a look at some of the villain scenes in old Disney animated films, you'll see these colors exactly. So I love that they've brought that to the live action version as well. And then of course Ariel gets her legs and swims to the surface, where she inevitably does her best impression of a shampoo ad. And as she's sitting there admiring her new legs, we get our introduction to Scuttle, the seagull, probably most famous for inventing the term dinglehopper. However, that doesn't look like a seagull. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether Scuttle is a seagull or some other kind of bird. It's just curious that Scuttle looks so different. But speaking of Scuttle, they've also made another change from the animated film, with Scuttle in this film being played by Awkwafina, whereas in the original animated film, Scuttle was a dude. Once again, that doesn't really matter. I just thought it was curious that Awkwafina is getting a lot of high-profile voice acting roles recently. She played Tarantula in DreamWorks' The Bad Guys, and of course she was also the dragon Sisu in Raya and the Last Dragon. But I think her voice works great for Scuttle. And finally we get a shot of Sebastian. And in this trailer I actually thought he was one of the animal characters that worked the best. He's actually quite expressive, especially compared to Flounder. And that's another one of those shots where her face and her acting just screams Ariel. That is so Ariel, that little mouth movement that she's doing right there. Of course, we also get some more shots of what I assume to be the Under the Sea musical number. And it looks great. It looks like so much fun. I can't wait to see that. We have a few more shots of Ariel's sisters here, and they do seem to all look very different. I think someone pointed out in the comments of my last video about The Little Mermaid that the sisters are supposed to each represent one of the 7 seas, in which case I suppose it would make sense that they each look very different. Look at her swimming there. You can't tell me that's not Ariel swimming by right there. I just think her design is so beautiful. And of course you gotta have this iconic shot of Ariel on the rock with the wave coming up behind her. I mean, you gotta have that shot. That's just too iconic. So yeah, that was the new trailer for The Little Mermaid. Like I said, I am so hyped for this film right now. I actually think this looks pretty decent. But who knows? Disney could still disappoint. Personally though, I can't wait till this film comes out in May. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys thought about this trailer. Are you as hyped as I am? Do you think they did flounder dirty? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And if you want more videos from me, why not check out this video I made about the new Peter Pan remake? But with that said, that's pretty much all I had for you today. My name is Martin Riise. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care and so long.